This episode is sponsored by The Break Room, downtown's best spot for a hot lunch every business day.
On this episode, the Topeka Library, Topeka Zoo, Uptown Sweets, Topeka Civic Theater, Ronald McDonald House, Arthritis Foundation, and recent events.
Hey there, and welcome back to Talk About Topeka. And today we are with our very good friend, Diana Friend. I'm sure everybody says that too.
No one ever
You've
says
never
that.
heard that
I
joke
have
before.
never heard that before.
We've never said it 15 times on this show alone.
It could never be truer because
Yeah.
we have been friends for years.
We have. Okay, she's from the Topeka and Shawnee County Public Library, and all of us. This is a library for everyone.
It
in
is.
our community. Do you have books there?
We have a few. About 500,000, but give or take a.
Yes.
I haven't counted them lately. Well, I take
Actually,
that back.
you did.
We did in May when we converted to RFID, and yes.
Yeah. So many great things that are going on at the library, and it's such an educational place. You were just telling me that you had kids there that were able to run around and play and still make noise because they're at a library, but that's okay in some parts.
Right.
And it's a place to have learning and be a little noisy.
And last week they returned to school, so it got really very quiet. We were kind of walking around going, wow,
what is going
But
on?
that certainly does not mean the end of events and activities for the year. You guys have all kinds of things. This weekend you had a big event. Tell us a little bit about how that went.
On Saturday mornings we have a preschool story time for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the honor of having Jim Gill, and he did a free concert, and he calls it the Contagious Tunes Tour, and he's very well known for his sneezy song, which the kids just love because of course they all get to sneezing and coughing as it goes along with that. So that was a wonderful opportunity. And good free family entertainment. We were laughing because we're working on the October-November schedule right now. We have 103 programs and classes at the library going on in October and November.
Oh.
And I haven't counted these, but I know it's really close to 100.
You can learn how to start a new business. You can learn what to do when you're expecting.
Yes.
You can get a different cake pan, make a different cake.
You can.
You can
check out a craft kit.
Yeah.
You can check out exercise equipment.
Yes.
And the DVDs if you actually want to put it on television. I enjoy checking out the DVDs, putting it in there and sitting down on the couch with my cookies and my drink and watching them.
We should have a party at your house.
That would be great.
I don't want to do it. I like to watch it.
I do too. And I go,
wow, they look great.
Yeah, they do.
They
I
look
go,
awesome.
Oh no, I don't think I can do that yoga pose. But yes.
Thank you so much, Diana Friend from the Topeka and Shawnee County Public Library. And of course, it's an amazing place to go and learn new things, I guess I should say.
We've got Brendan Wiley and Ashley Baum from the world famous Topeka Zoo.
And actual animals that we got out of cages.
That would be us. That's exactly right.
This is
Look
awesome.
out.
How did
That's
you guys
right.
escape? This is amazing.
And the crazy thing is, we're actually here today without an animal. So
I
almost
know,
feel
which
like
is weird.
It's not because Jamie's here. So
And I
feel
always
just
thought Jamie
fine.
was excited to
I know.
see
I don't
me.
want to be.
Now
I don't want to be
I get it.
a downer, but remember Robin Williams did that comment where he said, every time I go to the zoo, the monkeys are always going, "Hey, how come he's out?" And it's like he does this whole bit. Anyway, it's so funny. Anyway, just top of mind. Okay, we have Zoobilee that is coming up at the zoo. Humongous
Oh, we
and
do.
big and exciting. This is a huge fundraiser. In fact, this is your biggest fundraiser.
It is the biggest fundraiser. Zoobilee is an amazing event. We accomplish so much at the zoo through Friends of the Zoo. We have the best support society that you could ever imagine, and this is the biggest event that Friends of the Zoo throws. And we are thrilled to have with us today the event chair. So, Ashley,
And she would not divulge any information of some of the surprises that were going on at Zoobilee, which is pretty great. She's a keeper.
Yeah. And Jamie was trying before. She was
I said, I'm trustworthy.
the hard-hitting kind of.
Yeah. I couldn't look at her.
Yeah, no
You
Brian.
just can't. You just can't. Okay, so this year it's going to be. Is this your event theme? Cowabunga.
Yep, kind of the theme that we're going with this year is a little African theme. So kind of the big word is cowabunga. So we're pretty excited about that. And, we're doing it September 27th. So we're coming up here pretty quick.
How much are tickets?
Tickets are $75 a person. This is a fundraiser. All the money goes back to the zoo. It helps us achieve a lot of the special things that we do. When people come to the zoo this year and they see all the different things that we're doing, that's really all the different things that Friends of the Zoo is making possible through events like this.
This is how you need to square it, okay? How are the baby tigers going to eat if you don't come to this event?
Are we going to play some Sarah McLachlan underneath this? Is that,
Those baby tigers will have nothing to eat. So it's important that we show up.
But we will have plenty of food that evening for any people that do come.
Yes.
And drink.
Yeah, that really
so
is.
maybe Sarah McLachlan will show up.
Yeah, you never know.
You know
We
what
said we had some special events that night.
Yeah.
So
Maybe we'll get Sarah McLachlan. We talk a lot about a party for a cause. This is kind of our underlying theme, with a lot of other things that we do here at our show. And this is definitely a party for a cause. You get a lot in return. There's drinks, there's food, there's, entertainment, and of course there's going to be great people to network with.
Just for the adults.
So that $75 amount is just the same amount you'd pay to go to dinner or to go to a movie and that kind of stuff.
But you are going to get a lot with that. And this year, we're really breaking the mold.
Yeah.
This is a whole kind of new revisioned event. If you've been in the past, some of those same things are going to be there, but the event is laid out completely different. And this year we are paying a special tribute to Mr. Cowabunga himself.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
There you go.
I was wondering,
Gary Clark, who
Gary
was
Clark.
the first director of the zoo, who took our zoo and turned it into the world famous Topeka Zoo.
He taught me about the mating process. Giraffes.
Oh boy.
did he?
He
Do we need to go to
went
commercial?
into it.
That's later in the event.
It is. It's pretty
That's the late show,
X-rated, and I was like, "Woo!" But it was nice to know.
Yeah. Gary is a one of a kind, and his charisma, his personality, not only did it come out in the zoo, but it really became a part of this community. And there's so many people that remember the great things that happened while he was at the zoo, that not only is there a special tribute to him that night, but the event is going to start with a special announcement that involves him.
Do we get to snuggle up to Gary Clark? Is that the thing? Well, we might have to ask him.
I'm gonna bring a fire extinguisher for Jamie next time. Jeez. One last plug here for Zoobilee. I mean, folks want to get out and check out all the things happening there. What a great opportunity to do that with an all adults event. So maybe you don't want the kids running around. Maybe you want to be able to look at it and have a great evening out.
Yep.
That's when you're going to need to do it. So do it on September 27th, right?
yes, that is correct. And you can get tickets at TopekaZoobilee.com.
Well, we'll make sure to talk about this again, just so it's at the top of mind and people can think about getting tickets. But it's very cool. I told you about how I bought those amazing sugar cookies, and it wasn't for anything. We just bought it, and we bought a whole bunch of cookies, and nobody wanted to eat them because they looked so beautiful. Anyway, they're from Uptown Sweets, and of course they have a new location that's at the Ramada Inn, just here in downtown Topeka, and we have Michaela Conley here with us. How are you?
Hi, Jamie. I'm good. How are you?
Well, good. We are so excited that you're here because I saw you at Bridal Fair. This was probably 2 years ago, maybe? Or maybe, were you there this last year?
It was this last year, yep.
Yeah, and I saw you, and I could not believe the things that you make.
Aw.
I've never seen, and I'm not trying to be nice, even though I am nice, but it's like...
No, she's not.
She's not nice. But it's just amazing the things that you're able to create that are so beautiful.
Yeah.
And they taste amazing. What's the deal with that?
Well, I think that people love to be seduced by food, whether it's on a big scale from McDonald's to a small town bakery. People want their food to look as great as it tastes. So I've tried to perfect that art of getting the recipe
Done a
great.
good job.
As well as making
We've
it
got a
look
lot
great.
of examples sitting out right in front of us here, and I'm having a hard time concentrating on the interview because it's like I'm
I know
trying
these
to
cake
wipe
pops
the
you
drool.
just want to grab and eat. You know what I love about cake pops?
What's that?
inside, this is like really moist. Mm-hmm. Because is it made a certain way? Do you make the cake and then is that how you do it? It's a secret. She just told me it's a secret.
Can you blame
Well,
her?
this secret is really freaking amazing. I mean, this is amazing stuff. And you do actually have people order in advance. That is probably sometimes the best thing if you really want to have something nice for a certain occasion.
And personalized, yeah. You could come in and buy, I would have a dozen cupcakes like this, but if you wanted something girly or if you wanted something more manly, maybe pre-order.
Yeah. And your husband said that he had to tell you to stop bringing home so many baked goods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can bring them over here anytime.
Okay, great.
Bring them right over here. Okay, it's Uptown Sweets. It's located at the Ramada Inn. Where exactly do you say your location is? On the east side?
Yeah, on the front of the building, on the east side, we have a little board that's sitting on an easel for now. Outside the bakery, maybe someday there will be a big flashing sign, but for now, we're small time.
Well, we're here in the Talk About Topeka studios with Vicki Brocky, good friend of mine. You're the president and CEO of Topeka Civic Theater and Academy. Welcome aboard our humble ship here.
Oh, I'm thrilled to be here, Chris. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We're glad to have you. There's so much wonderful stuff happening at Topeka Civic Theater, and it's an organization. We've been on the show before and we've talked a little bit about this, how there's been so much growth and it's all been so great in moving Topeka's theater community forward. And you're doing another whole year. You had a great season this year.
We just closed Mary Poppins and Little Mermaid, so we're final. Our season is final.
I went to Mary Poppins. I have to say, when I walked out of there, I couldn't stop thinking about how there was big Broadway here. The whole walking around the whole proscenium upside down. It was magic. It really was magic.
I was so proud of every one of our volunteers. It was everything we wanted it to be, and then a whole lot more. But we took Mary Poppins. We did it the right way. But I got to say, the funnest part was at photo call when Bert was upside down, hanging from the ceiling. We paused so we could photobomb. I mean, we had to bring today's technology right into the Mary Poppins.
Absolutely. And so last season has gone fairly well for you folks.
We had a wonderful season. The community supported us. They came out. They embraced us on all three of our stages, which is our main stage at Topeka Civic Theater and Academy. We have our studio series and our Academy series, our youth series, and we're so proud of everything that's going on at Helen Hawker and how well the community has embraced the transition.
Yeah.
So we've really had a great year, but now we're excited about next year. I do want to just put one quick plug in for an interactive theater experience we're doing at Helen Hawker in October.
What's happening?
It will be right after Night of the Living Dead. We're going to do an interactive theater experience called The Haunted House.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, so watch and listen for more information on that.
I love that idea.
We'll
That's
have a
awesome.
family-friendly version, and then the
Scary,
make you scream like a teenage girl version.
Oh, I'm going to talk about that forever.
Yes,
So
yes.
definitely. So I'm now, I don't even want to talk about theater. I want to talk about the haunted house, but we'll have to have you back to tell us all about that when it's ready to go.
Oh, and we'll bring a zombie or whatever you'd like. We're excited about that.
Well, I'm excited about that already.
Great.
So, and folks, get those season tickets at topekacivictheater.com. And thank you so much, Vicki, for joining us today on Talk About Topeka. We've got Nancy Johnson with the Ronald McDonald House joining us. Thank you so much for joining us, Nancy.
Thank you for having me, both of you.
We're so excited that you're here.
Well, thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about the Ronald McDonald House because people don't quite know what that means. Is that where the kids go and play and there's a play place?
No, it really isn't. We have Ronald McDonald houses all over the United States, and even internationally we have them. Ours is located at 825 Southwest Buchanan. If you know where the Governor's Row House is, we are right to the south of there. It is a home away from home for families, family members who have children who are usually pretty critical in one of our hospitals here in town. There are 3 in Kansas. There's one in Wichita, 1 in Topeka, and then there are 2 going on 3 in Kansas City, Missouri, and that's right next to the Children's Hospital there. Probably 90% of our families are from NICU unit.
Yeah.
They have babies that are born at 27, 28 weeks and are in NICU. We have them, some whose children we take up to 19 years old. Some children who have tried to commit suicide or taken an overdose, and they're in Stormont Vale West, and we have their parents there. And then we also have children that are just very, very sick and have been transferred here to either Stormont or St. Francis.
Well, I think sometimes people don't realize that even though you have insurance or you're okay medically, when you take someone to the hospital and you're taking care of a family member, that can pull a lot of resources.
Right. I mean,
just having parents away is hard.
Well, if you think about, we cannot take anybody inside the city of Topeka. So, because if I had a sick child, I certainly would go home to my own house and stay. So, majority of our people come from Manhattan, Fort Riley, Junction City. I'll give you one example. We had a soldier, actually they were both soldiers, had twins, about 27 weeks. Both of them were at Stormont Vale. Then one was transferred to the Children's Hospital in Kansas City. So now if you'll take the scenario, we're driving from Junction City to Topeka, to Kansas City, back to Topeka, back to Junction City. And if you don't have someplace to stay, I mean, you're talking $100 a night probably just for hotel.
Oh, and just in gas alone.
Well,
you really did do that trip.
And
it's always a trip you're not planning for. You're not taking a vacation and planning for 2 years or whatever. It's right now.
Yeah, exactly.
You need the money. You need to stay in a hotel or whatever. You're there.
Well, if I could switch very quickly, because I know we're almost out of time. We also are in desperate need for volunteers. We have Make a Meal, and we encourage people to sign up for that. They can go to our webpage. They can look on a calendar to see if there are openings. You do have to bring in your own ingredients. You cannot bring in food that is prepared already, though. Obviously for airborne illnesses and things like that. So, and we are in desperate need of meat.
So I can bring like some already still packaged ground beef, some spaghetti sauce, some spaghetti noodles, and bring a pan or a little foil pan.
You don't even have to bring a food. We've got everything else covered. You just bring.
So I bring it to you, and you guys will.
No, you bring it to us, and you cook.
Oh, and I cook. Okay, as I hit my
that
mic.
would be meal maker.
I'm gonna have to find somebody else to help me out with this because I don't know how I can do that.
But we have a lot of churches, a lot of youth groups, stuff like that. We can always use things for our pantry. Our pantry is never full. Please don't bring green beans, please.
Please, everybody brings green beans.
Well, that's the staple. That's the staple with any nonprofit that has a food pantry. Any nonprofit will tell you that. It's the easy thing to pick up, and really Barry Feeker from the Rescue Mission will tell you that you can survive on green beans. You go for it, Barry.
That sounds like a challenge.
That is a challenge.
Barry, let's have him on the show.
Not the ice challenge, it's the green bean challenge.
Well, this is so cool. Tell us exactly where we can find out some more information.
You can go on our website, which is www.rmhc, Ronald McDonald's House, Topeka.org.
Okay. And we can get
rmhctopeka.org. All right.
Okay. It's actually Ronald McDonald House Charities of Northeast Kansas.
Okay.
All right.
Well, good deal.
Back here in the studio with Patty Dick from the Arthritis Foundation. How are you doing, Patty?
Great today. Thanks, Chris.
Hey, we're glad to have you here. You've got a great event that happens in October, and we want everybody to know about that now so they can get geared up and ready to do this. So we're
Plus,
talking...
you have your Halloween shirt on today.
I do.
It's got the little glitzy and the everything.
I say if the stores can be selling Halloween stuff right now and they put it out,
you better be
you
wearing
can wear
it.
whatever you want if they're already selling. So yes.
And of course, this is a huge event that you have going on right here in our area. It's the Bone Bash. October 10th is the date. That's going to be a Friday. So where can people go to get registered?
Well, you can go to arthritis.org/Kansas, and that'll take you to our Kansas website. And then click on Topeka, and you can find the Bone Bash, or even on that same page, there's a list of events, and click on the Bone Bash, and that'll take you to our Bone Bash page, and you can register online. Also, Prairie Band is giving a discount for Friday night the 10th. I believe it's $99 for an overnight stay that night, which is
Why would
significant.
you have to have an overnight stay?
Well,
Look at that.
You know, after you do the Bone Bash, you go out and run the slot machines or something.
She's not 21
I
yet.
know.
She doesn't understand.
I have no idea. Oh my goodness. So you can really make a night of it. They've given you a
Can.
great deal.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, well, that is very cool. Okay, and then people can just contact you. They can get groups together. Is this do you urge whole tables to come together, or it's okay if you're single?
It's okay if you're single. We can put you with a group of couples or singles. But also, it's a great thing to promote your business and invite your employees to come, reward them a little bit for if they've had a great year, or gives them an opportunity to get out and have some fun.
Well, that is absolutely wonderful. So
certainly
you're
is.
going to be done this year?
Finished, yes.
Yeah, but you may probably make an appearance in the next coming years at the Bone Bash.
Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows what you're going to do? Yes.
And
Okay.
so the 6th annual Bone Bash, Friday, October 10th. Make sure that you get out there and support the Arthritis Foundation. Guy who usually runs the computer to make sure that we look good on TV. It's Max Ellis. You edit video. You pilot our blimp.
That's right.
Actually, yeah, it's the blimp pilot here. So if you've seen our blimp around town, or at least imposed on a screen near you, this is the guy who drives it. And some of the things that you've been doing, you've been going to some events to show things from a different perspective, perhaps. One of the things you did was the ski club.
The Shawnee Boat and Ski Club, whom you can find on Facebook. They've been around since the late 50s. And they eventually built a shelter house out on Lake Shawnee.
You know, as we're looking at the footage here, it really is some spectacular, it looks beautiful.
Yes,
Yeah.
This was from the event in late July. It's a state tournament, actually. And you don't actually have to be a member of the Shawnee Boat and Ski Club to be there to participate in that event. And you don't even need a boat, because it's new traveling boats that they're like demo boats that go around to different tournaments, and they pull everybody along.
That's cool.
However, July 4th is a ski tournament that they do every year.
Of course, yeah, I
And
have
it's,
been out to that one. I think last year I went
Yes,
out for it.
and that is members only, so you'll have to find out more on Facebook there. And they also do one about every year in May. I was at the Scottish Highland Classic Games last weekend, and there it's best to keep a respectful distance, because as you can see here, they're throwing giant boulders, big weights, and I don't want anyone to get distracted and wing a boulder into someone else's gut.
Well, you don't want to be doing that. Yeah, so, well, I'm glad you didn't.
Yes, but that was that's Topeka's first Classic Highland Games, but there were about 40 people competing. And to give you some perspective, it was sponsored by a traveling group in like the 5-state area, and they do Classic Highland Games all over the place. And they said in Kansas City last time, there were 70 athletes. First one in Topeka had 40. That's pretty good. So I'm pretty sure it'll be back this time next year.
Absolutely. Well, we always love new and interesting events coming to Topeka.
Yes.
And we'll keep showing them off here with the blimp.
The blimp.
The blimp.
Visit talkabouttopeka.com to hear full interviews of all our guests. Connect with us anytime on Facebook and Twitter. Listen live and hear more from Chris and Jamie from 7 to 8 a.m. every weekday on the Big Talker, KMAJ 1440. And keep talking about Topeka.
We're only at about 72% of having enough tigers to do this with. If there's space where they can hook up with a male someplace, then they'll
Hook
go.
up.
Yeah,
I like that.
They'll go do that.
Do you get like tiger porn out?
What did you just say? Because
tiger porn.
I'm going to dance right over that.
Oh, you have to
That's a whole different camera, Jamie.
That's not anything to do with the zoo here.